Your initial response to a report from a child is incredibly important. The way we respond to reports of abuse can influence whether or not other victims feel comfortable or safe coming forward. Hello everyone and welcome back. This is Rawan Abu Khadra. I'm the Regional Humanitarian Safeguarding Advisor with Save the Children International. In today's video, we will continue talking about children disclosure and barriers to reporting regarding safeguarding incident and abuse. Why do we all need to learn about disclosures? And this is important to start our discussion with. As someone who has been providing many trainings on how to manage children direct disclosure of abuse for years, I can tell you that it is a crucial skill for all staff to have their safeguarding toolkit. We can never know for sure which a child will disclose abuse to us, so it is important that everyone knows what to do. If disclosure is handled poorly, it could mean that the child and other children affected will not receive the necessary protection. That is why it is so important for all the staff to be prepared to handle these situations effectively. The barriers to children disclosing abuse are huge. Children who speak out about abuse often do so many years after the abuse occurred. Some research found that more than two-thirds of the victims and survivors they spoke to did not disclose the abuse at the time it happened. For example, a research from the NSPCC has shown that the average time it takes for a victim of child sexual abuse to speak out about their experience is 8 years. And this is not a simple number we are talking about. So children are hesitant to seek help because they may have many factors, including the following. We are here talking about many factors, like the very simple one, that they don't trust the system. And this is not only for the children, it's also for their caregivers and for any adult, specifically if they are vulnerable, as we talked in the previous videos. The second thing is the language barrier. Specifically, if we are talking about asylum seekers, we are talking about refugees, IDPs, this is considered a huge barrier in front of them. And fourth is the shame. What is acceptable and what could happen after that action? Would they accept me more in this culture or no? And lastly, about the education. And here we are talking about how much we are realizing that we are under abuse. Are we experiencing abuse? Is this considered unacceptable? After knowing all of that, what can we do? It is important to be cautious for signs of abuse and not wait for disclosure before taking action. Children who have experienced abuse may show signs in their appearance or behavior, or we may become aware of abuse indirectly through conversations or rumors from other children. It's important to be alert to these potential indicators and to take appropriate actions in response. Your initial response to a report from a child is incredibly important. The way we respond to reports of abuse can influence whether or not other victims feel safe and comfortable coming forward. But now, how should we respond? It's important to approach situations involving abuse with the appropriate level of gravity, without blaming the victim. Staff should engage with children who disclose abuse with respect and reassure them that they are being taken seriously and will be supported and kept safe. Confidentiality should be maintained. But it may be necessary to share the report with the authorized safeguarding lead or children's social care in order to discuss next steps. Staff should only share the report on needs based, and the victim should be informed about what are the next steps and who will be involved. It is important to remember that an initial disclosure may only be the first reported incident, and that the trauma can affect memory, especially in younger children. And keep in mind that one incident of abuse can meet the child protection thresholds. So, the most important thing is to practice active listening skills throughout the disclosure. When a child makes a disclosure of abuse, it is important to listen carefully, reflect back, use the child's language, and be non judgmental. Leading questions should be avoided, but it is acceptable to ask if the child has been harmed and what the nature of the harm was. A clear written record of the disclosure should be made, ideally by someone other than the person speaking with the child, in order to allow full engagement with the child. The record should be factual and non including for any personal feelings. The record may be used as the basis of the assessment by children's social care or a criminal investigation, and the designated safeguarding lead should be informed as soon as possible. The report should be made directly, maximum within 24 hours, and we will be talking in next videos about the reporting and the process of reporting. So keep it tuned and see you next time.